Okay, I was showing this knot. I think I first saw Ian Stagles from Western Angler point this out, but Tim Carter from Halco was in the shop and he showed me this knot. They've been going up north and they're fishing for barra. They fish, actually fish pre-tested braid, 10 kilo pre-tested braid for this barra invitational comp, and at the time they were using this knot, which ties to a double, yeah, I'll show you the knot now. So what you want to do is put it through the loop, then wrap it around the braid 6 times. Right, now a lot of these knots that we're seeing on the internet, they're you know, they're using tiny leader when realistically, you know, a lot of us are not using, you know, the leader's much larger than the braid main line, you know, and that's the deception, you know, about using these knots is realistically you know, once you start using bigger leader, the knot that they're showing you on the internet doesn't look as fancy. So you wrap it up, okay, bring the nylon back down through into the loop once you've wrapped it up the double into here. Right, and then what you do is you lots of lube, and then you pull the knot down, right, and it'll pull up. So there you go. There you go, and then you just snip the tag off in. So yeah, I remember being about 12 hours west of Broome out at the Rolly Shoals, and the funniest thing ever happened. We're cruising around and we see this other boat, and we head over to this game boat, you know, 12 hours west of Broome, and it turns out it's the Halco boys, and they're trolling around as well. It was a bit like running into Mr. Whippy in the desert, because they had all these lures on board that they were testing, and there's no doubting that the Halco boys actually fish, and they make catches. They test all their lures, you know, and they do the testing. You know, they're not just banging it out of a factory somewhere in China and putting it to market. They test everything, and Halco lures are catches. So getting back to this knot again, here we've got the Bimini, which I showed you before, which is 100% knot, right? Then we've got our 2 strands that go into this knot. Now, like I was saying before, when you've got 2 strands going into the leader knot is generally at least double the strength of the main line. So what happens is you've got say your leader's 80 pound, then you've got 2 lots of 30 pound, which gives you 60 pound into that knot there, which goes back to the 100% Bimini knot. So you're getting back to that 100% drivetrain. So you're not snapping at this knot because there's 2 strands. One can pop, you still got the other one there, but you've also, you know, the leader's much thicker. All these knots you see on the internet, they're using the same breaking strain mono leader as they are the braid, and in reality, that's not the case. You know, if you want to fish line class fish, if you want to, you know, actually proper sports fish rather than using line that's not going lines class on fish, you know, you need to use these knots if you're gonna hook a fish that's above the breaking strain of your main line and go line class. You need to fish 100% drivetrains, and this is where the Bimini here on this side is 100%, 2 strands of your main line going into this knot here, and you've got, say, 80 pound. You know, if these 2 strands here are say 30 pound each, you got 60 pound. You might use a 60 pound leader. So this end of the drivetrain is 60 pound versus your 30 pound main line. So you're going to break on your main line, not on your knots, and that's what you want. You want your knots to stay there, and you can put the brakes on. You can put the brakes on. Your barramundi going to head back into the snag. You can put the brakes on with confidence, knowing that it's your main line. The breaking strain of your main line is what you were setting your drag for, which is about 30%, roughly, is 30% of your main line. There's a lot of, you know, you can get quite complex on drag settings for main lines. But the general rule is if you've got 10 kilo main line, then, you know, 3 to 3.5 litres of water, 3.5 litres of water is peeling off your rod, off your drag. That's your fighting drag setting, you know. See a lot of reels blokes and the line's peeling off, but they're only fishing 1 kilo drag. They don't know where they are on their drag settings. So that's I think it's called the F-Knows knot, but it may be confused with the Alberto knot as well, but it's not. So this is a double into this knot, and this is the 100% Bimini, 100% drivetrain. Thank you.